now. So without further ado, I'm going to give it to Kristeen. And Kristeen, take it over.
Good morning and thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me well. Give me a thumbs up if you can, if everything's good. Fantastic. Good morning. I'm so excited to be here today. And I just want you to know that I have my tea. So, last week it was a different cup. I think I'm a cup person is what I've realized. I've got some lavender tea this morning, interesting tea this morning. That's just a side. Today we're talking again about mindfulness and gratitude. And it's a topic that is so near and dear to my heart. I love both of these topics and I've got so much. So today I'm going to give you a rundown really quickly of what we're going to speak about. We're going to talk about the meaning of gratitude, which we kind of talked about really quickly last week, but we're going to go into more depth. I've got some notes written down. We're going to go into some breathing practices, mindful breathing practices, as we move and transition into the mindfulness part of the class. And of course, we're going to dissect the meaning of gratitude and what gratitude can do for us. And I'm going to give you some medical or scholarly information about gratitude as to how it can help us and what the doctors say or what research says. So not what I say, but the people who actually know more than me and that I like to study from or read about. So let's get started this morning. I'm going to start right away by sharing a screen, and I shared a screen with you last week, and then I thought, I'm going to do that again this week. So this week, this is the screen I'm going to share, and I hope that you see it. It should have my face, sorry. That's when I was a little bit cuter and younger. So let's just ignore how I look and we'll look at that one and just be happy with that one for a moment. Come and breathe with me is really what it says, because at the end of the day, mindfulness has to do with awareness, self-awareness, being present, and really there is nothing more present than your breath. I'm going to give you a moment to think about that. There is nothing more present than our breath, our breathing. And it's really important that we really take a moment to breathe and feel and settle into our breath and just acknowledge where we are at. So let's get started with that. Let's see what this says. Let's see what it's all about. And it's all stuff I'm sure that you already know. So here we go. Take some time to come in, join me to breathe. Now, here's the thing about mindfulness. You can sit, you can lay down, you can wash dishes and be mindful, you can drive, you can walk. There's mindful walking. I will go back to the driving. I like to really focus on breathing and being calm when I'm driving, especially when I have to drive a long distance or if I'm irritated. Also, we live in a country where there's a lot of snow, so mindfulness when you're driving is actually really important and really beneficial, because we don't get frustrated when we're driving and it really keeps our attention on what we're doing. So I'm going to change the screen. Today we're going to focus on our breath, and I'm going to get us to do that right away. So if you're sitting, and I think most of you are sitting, I'm going to ask that you get really comfortable. So getting comfortable is really a personal thing. Placing your feet down on the ground, heel to toe, with a tall spine, but not a rigid back. So really important. And placing your palms either up, down on your lap, on the arms of your chair, or some people like to place their hands on their body. And we spoke about that last week, how some people like to place their hands, either both hands on their heart, hand on belly, eyes open, eyes closed. And one week we're going to get into that. But for the moment, I'm going to say get really comfortable. That can also mean that you lay down. So if you're on a sofa or if you're on a bed, you can actually lay down. But if you are seated, I really encourage you to sit with your feet on the ground. So you might have to scoot up in your chair. Now, if you have a back concern, I want you to grab, which is what I'm doing right now, a little pillow maybe, and place it at your back so that you can rest properly. or sit and have your back supported by the back of your chair. So either one of these is important. And then we're going to breathe. We're going to focus on the breath. So I don't want you to breathe in any specific way. Stay in your normal pattern of breath and just take some breaths with me here. Breathe in and breathe out. Gently breathing in, not a forced breath, and breathe out. Breathe in and out. Feel free at any time to place your hands over your heart, over your belly. You can keep your hands on your lap. Focus on the quality of your breath for a moment. Focus on the quality of the breath. Are your breaths short? Are your breaths longer breaths? When you notice the inhale breath versus the exhale breath, are they the same length? Is one longer or shorter than the other? And then right away, think of someone who makes you happy or something that makes you happy. And continue to focus on the breath. Breathe in and breathe out. Smile as you think of that person. You can even laugh. It's okay if you laugh out loud or put a really big smile on your face. I see Louise laughing, smiling. I see you, Louise. And this is what we're going to do each time we meet. But you can do this on your own. Bring awareness to your breath. Now I want everyone to join me and do one little thing for me. Take a bigger breath in through the nose. And then breathe out. Did you notice how cool the breath was against your nostrils? If you didn't, do that again. Breathe in. Did you notice how cool it was against your nostrils? I see some heads nodding. Breathe out. Did you see how we can actually dissect the quality, the texture, the feeling of your breath? I'm going to move on for a moment. If your hands are on your belly or your heart, when you breathe in, can you feel the body moving? Maybe the rise of your chest or the rise of your belly, and the fall when you breathe out. There's a natural pattern of movement that happens when we breathe. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Just notice the thoughts as they come in and out. And if you notice that you have a lot on your mind, in order to relax the body, we must relax the mind. So one way of doing this is by saying the words, I'm breathing in, when you breathe in every time. And as you exhale, as you breathe out, say the words, I'm breathing out. And you just keep saying that. And every time your mind wanders, you start thinking of the things you have to do later on. Or maybe there's some movement around you when you get distracted. Refocus, say the words, I'm breathing in, or I'm relaxing my mind. I'm relaxing my body. These are options. Only if they feel good do I want you to do this. Settle into your breath. So don't force your breath. You don't have to do anything specific for a mindful pattern of breathing. You can stay in your own pattern of breathing. But settle in, get comfortable, be aware of it, stay connected to yourself. Come back to yourself if there are distractions. And now I'm going to stop the screen share for a moment. So here we go. Okay, so how simple was that, right? Believe it or not, you just went through a mindful practice with me this morning. You may not have realized it, but we just did a mindful practice. That was it. It was actually as easy as that. It didn't take a long time. And although I had a screen in front of me so that you could see what was going on, you actually don't have to have a screen at all. Like I said, you can be driving, walking, sitting, laying down, and all you would really want to do if you were focusing on the breath, because mindfulness gives us something to focus on, is you just acknowledge your breath, acknowledge how you feel, where the breath is in the body, maybe how cool it was when you breathed in, and the difference in the temperature when you breathe out, and that was it. But we did say that this was also about gratitude. And so we didn't have a focus on gratitude this morning because I wanted you to understand that mindfulness as an entity all unto its own allows you to focus on whatever it is that you would like to focus on and be aware of whatever it is that's important to you. And so gratitude is just something that I think is a wonderful way of living a more happy, joyful, stress-free, to some extent, life. And there are so many benefits to it. So I'm going to do another screen share in just a moment, but here's a question for you that I wrote down. What is the meaning of gratitude? And if anybody has thought about that between last week and this week, if you were here with me last week, or if anyone wants to just open up their mic and say, it means this. So anyone at all, you can feel free to jump in, and there is no right or wrong answer. It's a very personal answer as opposed to what the dictionary says or what I say or what anyone else says. So is there anyone who'd like to jump in? What does gratitude mean to you? Or an example of gratitude? And I'm going to do both. I'm going to give you the meaning and I'm going to give you a little story. So I won't put anyone on the line, but here we go. Last week in class, we had some people in class, and one of the people who was in the class was somebody that I know, and she's here today. I didn't see. Gail, I'm going to mention your name. I see you. Thank you. Good morning. It's so good to see you. So I'm going to tell you what happened. I went shopping this week, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, I need to pick up some stuff for my kids. And I took a while in my car, and then I finally got out because, you know, the mask, you've got to get everything together before you go into the grocery store. And as I stepped out of the car, there was a car parked across from me, but I wasn't paying that much attention. And I heard, as I was starting to walk, someone say, Kristeen, Kristeen. And I was looking around. I was thinking someone from the heavens is calling me. Something good is going to happen. And something did happen. Across from me was Gail. And she said to me that she was going to be coming back this week. You have no idea, Gail, how grateful I was for the interaction. We walked towards the store together. We socially distanced. Gail went about her shopping and I went about mine. But you want to know what I forgot about? How often I used to meet people doing things outside, shopping, going here and there in Oakville and surrounding areas, and how little I get to see people that I know anymore because of the times we're in, right? That interaction, it made my whole shopping experience so wonderful, because every corner I turned, Gail was shopping for her items and I was shopping for mine. And then we checked out at the aisles next to each other, and I was like, Gail, can you see how I'm smiling? I was so grateful just to see someone that I knew who knew me, and it changed everything. And I want you to know, Gail, that that little interaction and you recognizing me was so wonderful for my heart. It was so good for me. I need you to know. So gratitude comes, oh, sorry, yes, Gail.
Yeah, I felt the same way after meeting you. It was so nice, because so often you go shopping and you don't see anybody, you know, and you just go and you get back in your car and you figured, well, I got what I did, but I didn't see anybody, and they knew. And you know, it was so nice to see you.
Oh, thank you. It was likewise. It was the same. Do you see how gratitude pops up in front of you and you don't even realize it? It's not necessarily an exchange of anything that you purchase that you can feel in terms of a tangible item, like an actual item. It really has to do with emotion, does it not? Like, that interaction changed everything for me. And I thought about it all week, and I told the story at least 10 times. So it just goes to show you what gratitude means to different people. For me, that encounter was one that I was so grateful for. So now let's get back to, what does gratitude mean to you? It can be something so much bigger, or it can be something so small. And again, it's such a personal thing. There's no right or there's no wrong. You can actually be grateful for things. So let's just have me backtrack. And I don't want to indicate that gratitude has nothing to do with anything that has been purchased. I am grateful for the roof over my head. I am grateful to have work that I'm being paid for. I am grateful that I have food. I'm grateful that I have a vehicle. There are different things that I'm grateful for. And there's no doubt about it. My life is so much better because of these things, right? I'm also grateful for certain people. But as you can tell from the experience I just had, gratitude can be, and the people that you're grateful for can change, it can shift, it can be different on a daily basis. So we have our family and our friends, but then we also have other people that we interact with who we can be completely grateful for. So I'm going to share screen again. So give me a moment as I just do a little bit of maneuvering here. And I'm going to share another screen because I want us to go into some notes that I wrote. And where are they? Where are my notes? All of a sudden, I can't find them. And that's okay. Oh, there they are. Notes. And I'm going to share. Okay, there's a lot of writing on this page. Ignore the fact that there's a lot of writing on this page. This was me just going through different notes and books and things, but you're welcome to read anything. I'm starting right at the very top where it says Oxford Dictionary, because I love a dictionary point of view. The word gratitude comes from the Latin word gratia. I'm not Italian, so I'm going to hope, I think it's Italian, but it could also be Latin. If anyone's out there who knows either of these things, please let me know. Depending on the context, it means grace, graciousness, gratefulness. In some ways, gratitude encompasses all of these meanings, which is very true. It is an appreciation for all that one receives. Gratitude helps people refocus on what they have instead of what they lack. So there's an element of self-awareness, and we spoke about that last week, and we're going to keep coming back to this every week. There is a element of self-acceptance. You really have to be able to accept where you are in order to be grateful. You can't think of the things that are going to happen possibly, but you can think of the things that have happened, and you can say, I'm grateful that this happened in my life for sure, or that this person was in my life. You're acknowledging goodness in lives, in your life and other people's lives. Expressing gratitude often helps people recognize that source of goodness. I just wrote, it's being thankful and showing appreciation or being appreciative. And so these things are all important. I'm going to scroll up the page because I want to get to right away some of the people who've either read about, talked about, or written about some of the statistics, research that has been done about gratitude. So Amy Moran is a psychotherapist, and she wrote for Ford magazine, and I thought that this was really great. I only found this article recently, and I have so many articles, books, and everything else, but I liked this one. It gave a lot of different points on gratitude. Gratitude improves psychological health. And when we're talking right now about staying away from other people and not being in contact, we know that that has mental wellness implications. But gratitude actually can help us with mental health. And one of the things that it can do, believe it or not, one of the things that I teach is that you can actually connect to people just by thinking about a person and all the reasons why they make you happy, all the things that you are grateful for about them, and that actually will change what is being done in your brain and therefore in the body. Let's go back to her. Gratitude reduces a multitude of toxic emotions, ranging from envy and resentment to frustration and regret. And that's really, really important, because if you come to a place where you're thinking now of all the things that you are grateful for, you can't be grateful and angry at the exact same time. One's going to translate into the other, and usually you translate your gratitude from being in a place that maybe you weren't so happy about a few moments before. So if I'm not feeling great is what I'm saying, or if I'm feeling down in the dumps, so like things aren't working out for me, sometimes I have to wake up in the morning or in the middle of the day and pause. And we talked about that last week, just pausing for a moment and putting the brakes on and saying, you know what, let me think of all the things I am grateful for, as opposed to all the things that are making me upset, and totally changes where I am for that time of the day. There are so many reasons why we can be upset right now. You just need to turn on the news. So I ask people to shut off the news, turn it off for a moment, get a pen, get a piece of paper, grab your phone, send yourself a text. Literally, I write myself text messages all the time, and just a couple of things send to myself, and I think, okay, I've gotten them written down. I feel better already. So what Amy Moran wrote is that Robert A. Emmons, a doctor, a leading gratitude researcher, has conducted multiple studies on the link between gratitude and well-being. And his research confirms that gratitude effectively increases happiness and decreases depression. And we talked about this last week. How do you find gratitude? I'm telling you, it's this simple. You wake up and you say, I'm going to find one thing I'm grateful for. And we just did that a moment ago. We acknowledged the breath. I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for another day to wake up. It starts right there. It's as simple as that, or as challenging as that, because depending on where you are, finding gratitude can be challenging. Let's move on. Gratitude improves physical health. Grateful people experience fewer aches and pains. Think about it for a moment in your own life, and I'm going to stop right there for a moment. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to come back to you. Think about your own life for a moment. At a time when maybe you weren't feeling so fantastic. And then think about laughter. Somebody made you laugh and laugh and laugh. And all of a sudden, what happened, right? All of a sudden, the things that you might have not felt so great, you probably forgot for a very short period of time. because that's actually what happens. We tend to forget. Well, here's the great news. Even if someone's not making you laugh at this particular moment and you actually have physical pain in the body, and believe it or not, I've also studied in my mindfulness certification about mindfulness for pain reduction, because it is true, that if you focus on gratitude, or if you come to a memory of someone that has made you laugh, smile, or just has really good energy, it actually can reduce some of the pain you feel in the body. But I have a feeling that you would be able to tell me examples of this, right? Where maybe you weren't feeling so great and then a friend, a family member, somebody made you laugh so hard or brought back a memory that was so great that all of a sudden you realize you feel better. Is that true? Is there anybody who agrees with that? Yes, no, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I see some hands going up. Well, the same thing happens with gratitude. Even if you don't want to list all the things that you're grateful for when you wake up because you're like, oh, that's too much work. If you just think of somebody who makes you feel good, who you are grateful for, or someone who's made you laugh or smile or any of these great emotions, then it does the same thing for your body. It actually reduces pain in the body. You just feel better by focusing on these things. And I love that. I think that everybody doesn't realize, who hasn't been taught this information, doesn't realize the power of the mind and how where we place our mind is where we are. So I'm going to say that again. Where your mind is exactly where you are at this particular point in time. And the same is true of gratitude. So if right now we are in this session together and you are thinking of all of the things you've got to do later, that means your body is physically in that place as well. So for me, sometimes thinking of driving a long distance causes me stress. And if I know I have to drive an hour today on the highway, and I know it's a busy day on the highway, and I'm in a mindfulness class, my body is reacting to the fact that I'm thinking about that stressful drive. It is not reacting to the fact that I'm in a mindfulness class. I'm sure that makes sense. So where John Kabat-Zinn says, wherever you are, or wherever you go is where you are at. So if you leave here with your mind and you are thinking about something else, that's where you are, even though you are physically in front of me. Does that make sense? And we're going to prove this right now by doing a little mindfulness exercise. And it's a 5 senses meditation or mindfulness practice, but we're not going to do all 5. So we know what our 5 senses are: sight, taste, smell, hearing, all of these things. But we're going to start with taste. So get comfortable again for a moment. So remember what we're trying to prove, that wherever your mind goes is where you are. So if we think about gratitude, our body reacts. And when we think about this, we'll see what happens. We're going to talk about taste for a moment. So here we go. I'm going to say for a second that I like pickles. I don't know how many of you like pickles. I hope you like pickles. If you don't like pickles, maybe an olive. Or think of a lime or a lemon wedge. And I want you to close your eyes, but I want you to, in your mind's eye, imagine putting a lemon wedge. I saw someone's face just squinch. A lime wedge, or biting on a pickle, which might be more appealing for some, or taking a bite of an olive, or popping an olive in your mouth. And I want you to chew slowly. And I want you to tell me in a moment what is happening inside your mouth right now as you are imagining that you are chewing on that pickle, the olive, sucking on a lime wedge. What's happening to your teeth? What's happening to your mouth? What's happening to your tongue? Breathe in slowly, breathe out. Okay. Okay. Open your eyes when you're ready. Who would like to share? Who would like to share what just happened? Just take off your mute and pop in on this conversation because it's so important. It looks like Louise would like to. Is that Louise? No, I see somebody. I heard somebody take their mute off.
I think that's Aldona.
Aldona? Okay, Aldona, what just happened to you?
Or Gail,
Aldona?
maybe Gail?
Yeah, I did. Yes,
You
Yes,
did?
Gail,
Okay.
go ahead.
Gail. I just found that I had more saliva in my mouth.
Ah! Yes!
I know
Yes!
that's eh?
Yes!
Yeah.
Absolutely. Margaret just gave me a thumbs up. Yes. Thank you, Gail. Thank you for the thumbs up. Louise, what do you, yes? Okay, I'm getting another thumbs up. The power of the mind, you just proved everything that the doctors, the researchers, historians who talk about this, you've just proved everything that they've said with your own little experiment. Thank you for that. What happens is the mind is so powerful that even the thought of something affects the body and the mind, right? Affects the mind, therefore affects the body, therefore can affect your mental wellness, it can affect your well-being. And that is so important. And I'm so grateful that we did this together. So when I say to you in the mornings, afternoons, evenings, or whenever to pause, take a moment, think of someone or something you're grateful for, or think of something that makes you laugh, smile, and sit back and just stay there for a moment, that it actually affects you in a positive way. Now you have your own example, because there are examples. We could go on all day long proving this notion to be true. And it is so very true. So tell me, how do you feel about that? Does it solidify the fact that gratitude, that coming to a place of gratitude actually might have benefits in the body? Now, next week, I am going to be speaking to you about all the statistics about how gratitude actually affects pulmonary health, cardiac health. There are statistics from Harvard Medical Journal that actually show this, that it actually affects, and that you actually don't have to do anything or have started 20 years ago. You actually only need to start today. So take a moment, everybody, and close your eyes. And I want you to come to a place of gratitude. If you would like to place your hands on the heart, or one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, you're welcome to do that. And all you're doing is sitting back and just being very conscious and aware of the fact that where your mind is, what you're thinking about, has a direct impact on what is happening in the body. And that one of the benefits of coming to a place of gratitude means that we are able to come to a place of ease in the body, comfort, relaxation, reduced stress. Just allow your body to settle into your breath. If you will join me, everyone, in taking a big breath in and then sigh it out. Let's do that 2 more times. Big breath in, sigh it out. One more time. Big breath in and sigh it out. If you feel like opening your eyes, if your eyes were closed, and bringing yourself back into getting accustomed with the light. Now, I would like to ask everyone between last week and this week if they would like to join in and tell me something that they're grateful for, because sharing is so important. And when I hear great things that you're grateful for, makes me feel wonderful too. We can all share. It doesn't have to be anything great. I've already shared. I saw Gail. It made me happy. I was so grateful for that encounter. So if anyone, I'm not forcing anyone, of course, but if you'd like to share something, it can be the smallest of things. Yes, Gail, please go ahead.
I have to share that I am now a great-grandmother. The birth of a beautiful baby boy.
Oh, congratulations. That is so fantastic. And
So,
what's his name, Gail?
Raylan Emmett. Raylan.
Nice.
And he'll be called Ray.
Ray.
And after my husband just passed away.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And congratulations to you and your whole family.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're very happy.
Right, that's so great. So much. See, now I'm getting those, ooh, that feel good. That feel good that I get whenever that happens. Is there anyone else who would like to share?
I'd like to share that I'm grateful for that I could communicate with my daughter who lives on Vancouver Island.
Oh, yeah.
So that's nice that in this time that we can communicate and do Zoom and see people that we don't normally see.
Oh, Louise, that is so great because she's all the way across the country. And that is fantastic. How often do you speak to her?
Oh, daily on Messenger.
I love it. See, that is so important, right? There was a time when we were all thinking how terrible technology was, but in this case, technology has proven to assist us with those connections that are so valuable and important for our mental wellness.
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing. Anda has written from her iPad that she is grateful for this wonderful virtual program and she looks forward to, or Anda, I hope it's female. I hope so. I think I'm right. And is looking forward to next week. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I appreciate that. And I said, as long as you're here, I'll be here. As long as the town says, Kristeen, you're doing this, I'm here. So thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to share? You don't have to, but of course, if you'd like to jump in, anyone at all, you're welcome to. You don't have to. And I hope that each week that you get a little bit more comfortable. That is my wish. You get a little bit more comfortable and that you jump in and you tell me how you feel, or if there's something that you saw that reminded you of mindfulness or gratitude. Remember, it only takes 5 minutes of the decision, just I'm going to make sure that I do this every day, but 30 seconds to be mindful. So literally once you've decided, 30 seconds of just pausing and coming to a place of gratitude or mindfulness changes everything. You only need that little bit of time. So with that being said, I think we're at the end of today. I'm going to ask everyone to place their hands in finishing today's class, maybe over their hearts, maybe bowing in as you are grateful for yourself, only so that you acknowledge yourself in being grateful for yourself and for those whom you love and care for. And my wish for you is that the sun, the moon, and the stars continues to shower you with gratitude, love, compassion, all things good, until we meet again, whenever that might be. And it might be one day in a local grocery store parking lot. And I'm grateful for that. So thank you, everyone. So thank you. That's all I have for today. I know that I'm just going to go through the list. I think we have Margaret, the life skills class. Thank you for showing up again this week. I am appreciative of you. Gail, of course, Louise. I know that there's someone with a phone number that I can't see who they are, but whoever that is who's here via phone, thank you. Your energy is appreciative. And that's all for this wonderful Friday. Enjoy your week. Find one thing to be grateful for each day. And I'll see you when I see you next.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristeen, and thank you for everybody for tuning in. I'm certainly grateful that I was part of this wonderful activity. I am feeling so much more relaxed than I did when I first came into this, and I'm certainly grateful for our health, given what we have found, what's happening around the world and even in Canada. So thank you, Kristeen, for that. I think this is something that's it's a positive energy that's gonna carry itself towards the weekend. And I hope everybody has a safe and wonderful weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday when we talk about eating healthy and staying balanced. So have a great rest of your day, folks.
Thank you.
And
Bye-bye.
bye.